Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody. It's me, Muhammad Mitwalli, and today with the skill 9 on the TOEFL structure. Use noun clauses connectors correctly. A noun clause is a clause that functions as a noun because the noun clause is a noun. It's used in a sentence as either an object of a verb, an object of a preposition, or the subject of the sentence. I know when he will arrive. I'm concerned about when he will arrive. When he will arrive is not important. As you can see, that sentences or clauses are the noun clauses, and they are function differently according to their location and their place. In the first one, they are functioning as an object. The second one, they're functioning as an object, but for the preposition about, and the first one and the last one, they are functioning as the subject of the verb is. Let's see explanation. In the first example, there are two clauses. Let me read here so that it could be you can read and see at the same time. In the first example, there are two clauses. I know and he will arrive. These two clauses are joined with the connector when here. When changes the clause, he will arrive into a noun clause that functions as the object of the verb know. This one. The connector when changes the clause he will arrive into a noun clause that functions as the object of the preposition about here. So this connector when made this change to be all of it the object of the preposition about. In the third example is more difficult. In this example there are two clauses, but they are a little harder to recognize. He will arrive, this is the first one, is one of the clauses, and the connector when changes it into a noun clause that functions as the subject of the sentence. The other clause has the noun clause when he will arrive as its subject and is as its verb. How? So I have here when, this is the connector. Then I have he is the subject of the verb will arrive. And then I have the verb is, which doesn't have clear subject here because he cannot work as subject for two verbs. So where is the subject of the verb is here? It's the whole clause with the connector here. So when he will arrive, all of it together is the noun clause that function as the subject of the verb is. Okay? And it includes inside itself another clause which is he and will arrive. So it's compound. The following example shows how this sentence pattern could be tested in structure question the TOEFL test. Let's see. Was late caused many problems. Was is a verb and caused is a verb. So I have two verbs, so I should have two subjects. So the first one, that he is a subject and that is a connector and can work as a subject for the verb was. The driver is one subject, there doesn't work because it's just a connector. So the only answer that has subject and connector is this that he. Let's see explanation. In this example there are two verbs, was and caused, as I said, and each of these verbs needs a subject. Answer B is wrong because the driver is one subject and two subjects are needed. Answer C and answer D are incorrect because there and because are not subjects at all. Because the best answer is answer A. If you choose answer A, the complete sentence would be that he was late caused many problems. In this sentence, he is the subject of the verb was, and the noun clause that he was late is the subject of the verb caused. The following chart lists the noun clause connectors and the sentence pattern used with them. Noun clause connectors. What, when, where, why, how, whatever, whenever, whether, if, that are all used as noun clause connectors. So I have the pattern like that. Subject, verb, noun clause as object. I know what you did. Or noun clause like this one here. I have noun connector, subject, verb, then verb. Like what you did was wrong. To explain this, for further understanding, let's take this one. What you did. You is the subject for the verb did, but was needs a verb, needs a subject, I'm sorry. So what is the subject of the verb was? I can't say you because you is the subject of the verb did and it can't work for two verbs. So the whole clause together, what you did all together, is the subject of the verb was. The same happens above here. So I know, subject verb, no problem. You did, subject verb, and this is the connector. But I know, this is a transitive verb. What did you know? What I know is what you did. So what you did all together function as the object of the verb know. Now let's get to exercise 9. Each of the following sentences contain more than one clause. Underline the subject once and the verb twice. Circle the connectors. Put boxes around the noun clause. Then indicate if the sentence are correct C or incorrect I. The first two are solved. Let's see 3. The schedule indicated if the teams would be playing in the final game. The schedule, a subject, indicated is the verb for that subject. F is a connector. The teams, subject, would be playing is the verb for the subject, the teams. But where is the object of the verb indicated? The object is if the teams would be playing. If the teams would be playing, all this is the object of the verb indicated. So this sentence is correct. 4. He refused to enter a plea couldn't be determined by a lawyer. He refused to enter a plea. He, subject, refused is a verb, but this plea couldn't, this one altogether, is not the object because I should have a connector here. I should have a connector to make all the clause is the object of the verb refused. So what did he refuse? I don't know. So the right answer, of course, 4 is incorrect, and the right answer would have been like this. He refused to enter a plea that couldn't be determined by a lawyer. 5. Talked about where we should go for lunch. So talked is a verb, where connector, we subject, should go is a verb, and where we should go all together is the object or the noun clause that works as the object of the proposition about. But where is the subject of the verb talked? There is no subject, so this sentence is incorrect because it's missing a subject. 6. Why the condition of the patients deteriorated so rapidly it was not explained. So why is a connector, the condition is the subject, deteriorated, this is the verb, it is another subject, was is the verb, and this sentence is absolutely incorrect. Why it is incorrect? Because if I say here why connector, the condition of the patient deteriorated, all this is the subject. All this is the subject of the verb was. So I don't have to add it because it's an extra subject here. Extra subject for the verb was. I can't have two subjects for one verb, so it doesn't work. So this sentence is incorrect. So I should remove it. 7. Whether or not the new office would be built was to be determined at the meeting. Whether is the connector, the new office is the subject, would be built is the verb of the subject, the new office. The whole clause, whether or not the new office would be built, is the subject of the verb was. So this is very perfect sentence. Nothing's missing here, so it's correct. 8. That the professor hasn't yet decided when the paper is due. That, the connector, the professor is a subject, hasn't decided, this is the verb. When is another connector, the paper is subject, is due is another one. So where is the verb in this sentence? So that the professor hasn't decided yet when the paper is due. If I removed the extra that here, if I removed it, it would have been the professor hasn't yet decided when the paper is due. It would be correct this way. But adding that, which works and function as a connector, that requires another verb after the whole sentence finishes. So for example, it would have been that the professor hasn't decided yet when the paper is due made me angry, for example. So either to add a verb or to remove that to make the sentence correct. But this sentence 8 is incorrect. So 9. The contract will be awarded is the question to be answered at the meeting. So the contract, the subject, will be awarded is the verb, is another verb, but what is the subject of this verb? So I should add a connector here. So for example, that the contract will be awarded is the question to be answered by the meeting. So I'm missing a connector here because this verb here is laying around, it doesn't have a subject. This verb will be has a subject, the contract, but this verb is where its own subject, I don't have it. So the contract will be awarded can be the subject for this verb if I add a connector here. So it doesn't work. 10. He always talked with whomever he pleased and did whatever he wanted. He, subject, talked, this is verb, with preposition, whomever he pleased. Whomever is a connector, whomever. He pleased, subject and verb, and this is coordinate connectors, and did, that's a verb, whatever he wanted. So let's analyze it because it's very long. According to here, he always talked, this is subject verb, with whomever he pleased. All together is the noun clause that works as the object of the preposition with. And did, where is the subject of this verb did? It's he because it's coordinate connectors. And did, whatever is another connector. He wanted, subject and verb. Whatever he wanted, this is the object of the verb did. So I have two noun clauses here. Whatever he wanted, whomever he pleased. Okay? So 10 is totally correct. I hope you like it. This lesson and the coming lessons needs more attention in order to understand it. Otherwise, you will be lost. So try to work hard until we meet in another class. Take care of yourselves and see you. Goodbye.